Imagine you wake up to a $10,000 charge on your account and you look at your StockX account and notice that there's multiple purchases of some of the most expensive sneakers that money can buy. And when you try to cancel or reverse these orders, you get blocked by the platform itself. And after you start to panic, you find out that your credit card has been compromised, your personal info is floating around on the dark web, and the company that you trusted isn't telling you the full story. This is exactly what happened to millions of sneakerheads and StockX users in 2019. But how did the biggest sneaker resale platform on earth, the so-called stock market of sneakers, let hackers slip in and steal 6.8 million accounts? And why did the company try to downplay it and left customers to fend for themselves? Today, we're breaking down the largest digital heist of sneaker history. StockX launched in 2016 with a bold pitch: treat sneakers like they're stocks. Instead of sketchy Craigslist meetups or fake-ridden eBay auctions, StockX offered a marketplace where buyers and sellers could trade shoes in real time, with highest bids, lowest asks, and verifications in between. And the thing that was different about StockX at the time was that they verified every single sneaker that was purchased on the platform. So hypothetically, you would never end up with a fake or counterfeit pair of shoes. At the time, if your sneakers had that little green hang tag, you knew that they were legit. And the timing couldn't have been any better. Around 2016 to 2017, hypebeast culture was exploding. From Yeezys to Off-White collabs, sneakers weren't just fashion. They were investments. And the buy-sell-trade sneaker economy was at an all-time high. And this also caused events like SneakerCon to grow in popularity as well. And StockX positioned itself in the middle of this all as the Wall Street of streetwear and sneakers. And they quickly became the go-to for anyone chasing grails. Competitors like GOAT and Stadium Goods were still growing, but StockX's branding, celebrity endorsements, and heavy tech focus put it miles ahead. And by 2019, the company was valued at over $1 billion. But behind the glossy branding and verification tags, customers were starting to see cracks. You see, StockX blew up way quicker than anybody could have ever imagined. And this kind of caused them to scramble, and due to the massive volumes of sneakers that were being bought and sold through the platform, they just couldn't keep up, but they wanted to portray a big corporate image. Soon there was complaints about StockX's strict no refund policy that meant if you got a pair of fakes or bad shoes, you were out of luck. Since StockX overlooked them and verified them and sent them to you, there was absolutely no reason why you would be able to send them back for a refund. So customers that received fake pairs were just stuck with them because StockX already verified them. Other users were reported that they were getting used sneakers that were being passed as new. Once again, if you got sent a used pair of sneakers from StockX and they already verified them, you were stuck with them. There's nothing that you could do to prove that you didn't wear them. And while those controversies stirred up online debates, nothing would compare to what was about to happen. And in mid-2019, StockX was at its absolute peak. Hype culture was mainstream, reselling was a billion-dollar game, and StockX sat at the center of it all. But then one day, the first warning appeared. On Reddit, a user posted a thread hinting that something huge had gone down at StockX and a possible hack with customer data had already been compromised. And this Reddit user stated that their servers were not secure, and he warned sneakerheads and hypebeasts to remove their cards off the platform and stop using it. He basically ran down his experience while providing screenshots of purchase history where somebody hacked his account and used his card to order sneakers. But at the time, many brushed it off as speculation, and nobody really took this seriously because we're talking about quite literally the biggest buy-sell-trade platform in the world. But then, just a few months later, reports began to surface that confirmed an absolute nightmare. So, hackers gained unauthorized access to StockX's cloud environment as early as May 2019. And for months, hackers would quietly sift through data on the website and maybe purchase some shoes or streetwear here and there to see if they could get away with it. And then about 3.5 months later, in August of 2019, all of this stolen information surfaced for sale on the dark web. And according to this TechCrunch article, an unnamed seller reached out and offered a database of 6.8 million accounts on StockX for just $300. The files included names, emails, shipping addresses, usernames, and passwords, which were stored using an outdated MD5 algorithm. Hackers also had access to purchase history, shoe size, device types, and software variations. And later, StockX claimed that the financial data was never exposed, but since the payments were handled by a third party, the truth was very clear. And one Reddit user explained how bad it got, saying they're a company. They had a breach a little under a year ago and my card got compromised. I emailed to help me prove that the sale that was made was not by me or being sent to where I'm located, but instead they blocked my account and I had to work it out with the bank and explain that I never made any transactions. For many, it wasn't just stolen data. Hackers were changing shipping addresses and actively placing order through these 6.8 million accounts. And I actually got to speak with one of the victims that accounts got hacked.
I remember I got home from school one day and like I got a random email from StockX. I was like, I haven't ordered anything on StockX, and like it was like an order confirmation. It wasn't anything like a promotion or anything like that. So I clicked on the email immediately because I was like, maybe they had the wrong account and they didn't mean to send me the email. And it was to my address on my card. I got like the bank charge came as well too. So I was like, oh, like what? So fortunately enough, the person who did it used my address still on my account, which is actually weird. So like I was getting the shoe regardless. It was a size 14 Travis Scott olive 6. So fortunately enough, in my case, like I wouldn't have lost much. Like I probably would have lost $20 to $40 with the fees that I would have sold the shoe back to StockX or like in person, like whatever would have happened there. But I'm sure this affected so many other people just getting things ordered not to your house. Like, I couldn't imagine if this happened not to my house. I ended up calling my bank, and they figured it out. They did it all and fought with StockX over the charge. But StockX ended up banning me from my original account. I can't use that account anymore. Like, it's not possible because you can't have any chargebacks or anything on StockX, even if it's, like, wrongfully charged to your card. Like, if you have any chargebacks, they will take your account down. So I lost my original StockX account. Like, I don't even have this order confirmation anymore because that account is now banned.
And the absolute worst part about all of this was instead of coming clean, StockX downplayed the incident. In early 2019, customers received an email saying that they needed to reset their passwords due to system updates. There was no mention of a hack, no mention of stolen data, and customers were crying for help. And it wasn't until a TechCrunch article came out and StockX was forced to admit the truth. Yes, there had been a breach on their platform, and yes, millions of accounts were compromised. And yes, if you've ever used StockX, your information was on the dark web. And for many users, the damage was already done. You see, the hack on StockX was done in May, and StockX didn't come out until August. And there's absolutely no way that they didn't know this was happening. And without the TechCrunch article, who knows if they would have ever owned up to it. And following this, the fallout was immediate. Lawsuits were filed in the United States and Canada, and StockX offered free identity theft protection and beefed up their cloud security and tried to restore everybody's trust. But in Canada, a settlement in 2022 gave affected users free credit monitoring and partial reimbursements. But in the US, StockX fought lawsuits by pushing customers into arbitration, and they cited their terms and service agreements. Yeah, those big long agreements that you never read, you just click accept and move on. Yeah, those. And there was even a few minors that got caught up in the breach that struggled to make it to their court date, but the hackers behind this whole breach, till this day, nobody has been publicly identified or charged for this crime. And the breach didn't just hit users' wallets, it hit sneaker culture itself. StockX was supposed to be a platform that was against fakes and scams. They were a trusted middleman in a market worth billions. But when the platform itself failed to protect its users, it proved that the biggest name in the game wasn't invincible. And sneakerheads began questioning the risks of centralizing so much trust in one company. Competitors such as GOAT and eBay seized the moment to highlight their own security in private. And for some, the StockX breach marked the end of blind trust in the resale giant. But today, StockX has grown even larger, hitting IPO rumors and expanding into watches, collectibles, and even electronics. And while StockX may have survived, the further question is, if one of the largest platforms on the planet, the stock market of sneakers, can be hacked, how safe is your data anywhere else? And that pretty much wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So this took a lot of research and a lot of scouring like Reddit forums and stuff like that. So if you guys haven't already, drop a like, comment, subscribe, hit that little notification bell so you get notified every time I post. Usually it's like once or twice a week. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun making these videos and I've been kind of running out of ideas. So if you guys have any, drop some in the comments. Maybe it can spark one of my biggest, craziest videos yet. Who knows? I try to stay in like kind of the sneaker niche, but I want to expand to more like pop culture and celebrities and stuff like that. So if you guys have any stories, make sure you drop them in the comments, or maybe stuff that hasn't been covered online that you want me to cover and be like the first person. Who knows? But yeah, I always want to come on here and say thank you guys. I love you guys. You guys have constantly supported me over the years of like everything that I upload. I feel like I've uploaded a bunch of different types of videos like back in the day. day doing sneakers and like sneaker reviews to like reselling, and then like I've done skits. I've done a little bit of everything, and you guys have stuck with me for I don't know how many years now. So I want to say thank you guys. And if you haven't already, follow my Instagram right here. I post on there shorts pretty much every day of the videos that aren't long enough to make it on a full YouTube video. So yeah, definitely check that out. And I love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.